Just to piggyback on what you were saying, for me, I'm like, I also work in series, or exploring ideas and exploring a number of paintings in that particular idea or theme. But for this particular show, the pieces I created were really specific to the theme that Myrtis tasked the artists. I mean, not so much tasks, but once I knew what the theme of the work, the show was going to be, I created all the pieces really in mind with the idea of, the syncopation of light, color, and form, and within my own visual language. There are other pieces in the series that I work in, but I wanted to really work for within that vein, within that scope, and so created these pieces in the show specifically with that theme in mind. Well, listening to David for me was it's a very similar process that I use. It's very much a conversation between myself and the canvas. You start off with a blank canvas, and in the beginning, it's about just putting paint, line work, just many different elements on the canvas itself, and let the process begin. It is a very much, I think, a lot of abstract painters can relate to that. The key for the work is the process itself. It's not, I personally have no idea how the painting is going to end. All I know is that moment that you start and you start the conversation, where it goes, where it leads is part of that process. But the beauty of it is I may use the same process, but our work is so different because we come to each material, color, element from different perspectives, from different vantage points, from a different stroke, and from a different perspective in general. And so even though the process may be similar, the work itself is very individual and very much reflective of the person who is creating the art themselves, which I think is just the beauty of abstract work for me, and why I enjoy other artists who create abstract work, because it's a real window into who they are. For these particular pieces, like I said, I really focused on working with the light, with form, how I create light, how I create form, and the use of color in the pieces. And I was, even with just listening to everybody, there's so many different elements that we all use, and I love the idea of limiting myself to certain things. I'll limit a palette, a set of colors, only work with a particular set of colors. That way it limits you to really figuring out the puzzle, with the limited resources. So I may choose a few colors and have to mix the colors to create darker colors, lighter colors, and depth, and use line work to create form. And in the beginning or in the middle of it all, it's quite chaotic and sometimes scary because you have no idea how this will make sense. But after using more paint and more back and forth, you simplify and you simplify and you simplify, and you create areas, in the painting itself to let your eye travel to lighter areas, to darker areas. And you go back and forth. Sometimes I'll work with the pieces in one direction and turn it upside down to force yourself to look at it in a different way, to make sure that there's balance, to make sure that there are quiet spaces, and then there's busier spaces, larger forms, smaller forms, and that conversation continues until you come to the end.